going to make a casserole today. I'm on medium heat, and I have 1 cup of onion, 1/4 cup of celery, and 1/4 cup of green bell pepper. I'm going to let this cook down for a little bit. This is cooked about 5 minutes. It's starting to go soft. And I'm going to add 4 cloves of garlic. Add 1 pound of ground beef. Some pepper. And some salt. And we're going to cook this down till there's no longer any red. So that's cooked down, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 1 can of tomato sauce, which is 8 ounces. There's 1 pound of ground beef. All the amounts will be listed underneath the video for your convenience. And we're just going to let this warm up a little bit and be right back. Well, this is cooked for about 5 minutes, or less. And I've turned off the heat so it could cool down. I want to cool it down so I can taste it for salt. See if it tastes okay. So I want you to do that. And then I decided to put some parsley in here. So I'm going to put some dried parsley in here too. About a tablespoon it looks like. And I also cooked macaroni. I measured the macaroni before I cooked it, 1.5 cups. And I cooked it in some salted water. It's very al dente because I timed it as soon as I put it in there for 5 minutes so that it doesn't get super soft. So we're going to stir this in and put it off to the side. And I'm just going to stir it on a sauce. I'm going to melt down this 2 tablespoons of butter with 2 tablespoons of flour. And of course the sauce will need some salt. So I'm going to put some in there and we'll taste it later. So we'll melt this down. Well, my flour, salt, and butter has melted down. It's cooked for a couple minutes. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, add 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That is completely optional there. And I'm going to add my 2 cups of milk. And we're going to cook this. I'm on medium heat. You can turn it up a little bit, but not much. And we're going to cook this for 5 minutes or till it's thick. Well, it's been about 6 minutes and it's getting thick. And while you're cooking it, you want to give it a taste and see if it tastes good, if you need more salt, which I did. I added a bit more. When I'm cooking something that needs stirred a lot, I like to just go back and forth and then move the pan itself. That way I think it's easier. So it's thickened up. I'm going to turn the heat off. Get rid of this. Put my cheese in. That's an 8-ounce block of cheese that I grated up. I can tell the sauce is going to have a bite to it because of the cayenne that I put in there. So you want to make sure that you get all the cheese incorporated very well. While I was making the cheese sauce, I put this mixture, into a 9x13 pan. So now we'll pour our warm, hot cheese sauce over the top. I have my oven on 350 degrees. Everything seems to be seasoned nicely with the salt. It's such a bummer to fix something, and it's nicer to have the salt cooked in with it than to have to add it later. Okay, and I'm going to use some Parmesan cheese on top. I'm just going to use some cheap Parmesan cheese. And sprinkle as much as you want on there. At least a couple tablespoons. Alright, this goes into my 350 degree oven. Here it is out of the oven. It baked for 35 minutes. We'll let it cool down just a little bit. Let's try some of this. Let's dish some up. On my plate I do have some asparagus and some stewed tomatoes as side dishes. As I was making this, I was thinking, oh, mushrooms might be good in this too. It's really nice. It's very nice. I think my dad would really like this. So I have to make it for him. Thank you so much for watching.